What's up, Stat?
Hey,
We are on the hype train. Choo choo.
100%.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've done this, so I know the very first thing I always do is say hello to the people in the chat.
Tradition.
So
We can
hello,
be like
Jolly.
riding a bike.
Hello, Jolly Green. Hello, Jav. Hello, Prador. Hello, Amanda. I don't know if I want to say hi to her. She knows she's my favorite by now, so do I even say hi to her? I don't think I have to. And there's Skip. Holy crap, it's Chauncey.
Hey.
I haven't talked to Chauncey in a long ass time. He says, let's get hype. Absolutely. Absolutely. So today's the big day.
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
Well, tomorrow's the big day.
No, it's within 24 hours.
Well, it is within 24 hours, but we ain't got nothing to buy yet.
Well, I know, but like I have to work.
Breaking my heart.
During the launch, I'm going to be working. Jasper's
Right.
in here. What's up, Jasper? I'm going to be working, so like
You're not going to flip on your phone and like buy stuff real quick?
Well, yeah. Well, I told George, I was talking to George, and I'm like, dude, you're going to beat me again because I have to back from work. So that's no good. That's no good. He always beats me. Ugh, George. Anyways, we have the infamous double page spread from Groken 1. We're sharing that. But I figured we'll talk about the book and we'll talk about how Kenneth shits excellence.
He tends to have like what? He's only got one double page spread in each book, and both of them are friggin' spectacular.
I don't even know if I would count this as a double because there's panels.
Well, there is, but he's got a huge overarching like the second one was the dragon.
Yeah.
And this one, I don't know which one I like more, to be honest. They both look amazing.
So there are a lot of things I'm looking forward to in this new book. The very first thing I'm looking forward to is the continuation of Enzo's story. Now, Stat, I'm a huge dragon guy. I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. I read Lord of the Rings once a year. I watch the extended movies once a year.
Oh, yeah.
So I love dragons. So Enzo's story, like I'm enthralled with it. I can't wait to find out what happens.
I'm looking forward to like expanding on Flavius and the Inquisitor. I'm pretty curious about him.
Flavius and the Inquisitor? Oh, yeah.
The last time, a little taste.
Right. And the last time we saw Flavius, we saw that Tato was a good boy.
Yeah.
Yes. Amanda is chiming in. She says, I think that's an amazing page. Pretty sure there were haters when they reviewed it on well-read stream.
What haters?
So you're looking forward to Flavius, and I'm looking forward to Enzo. I wonder what, like, nobody in the chat wants to, like, they're not looking forward to seeing the continuation of any stories.
I don't know, man. I hope. I might dip if there's too many spoilers. Oh, no, you haven't read number 2 yet?
He said reread.
Oh, reread. Okay, I was going to say, well,
there might be spoilers. Like, this is a very fan-focused stream. Like, I assume, I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that hasn't backed Groken. Like, you should probably let us know. So we don't spoil the crap out of it. But
well, you know, it's funny though. It's like even when people have read the book, there's so much mystery surrounding it. They don't even begin to know how to spoil it because it's like,
well, yeah. It's starting to come together though. There was something that are very, very clear now, but there's still mystery. Like what the Seventh Order, like what's up with that?
And he throws a lot of characters that get cameos that are going to have a huge impact later on. Like Flavius and the Inquisitor.
Well, the Inquisitor's been in 2 books, but very,
very tiny little,
briefly,
like 1-2 panels each or something like that. So it'll be really cool to see what he's all about.
He did introduce a character in the second book that I think is probably like one of the coolest character designs, and he's not like overly, but Gasper, I call him. When I first saw him, I told Kenneth he reminded me of a druid in a book series I read as a kid called Alanon. So, but I love Gasper's design. He's like a druid actually, like a tech druid, almost like a tech druid though, not a traditional druid.
That's the closest way I can just come to describing this book as a tech fantasy, not like a steampunk or like a cyberpunk, but like a technical fantasy book is the closest thing when people ask, well, what is it?
Jasper says I've got a better grasp on the story after reading one. Brings me to another point, Stat. I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like this is going to be one hell of a collect. Like when all 7 of them are done, it's going to read so well. It's just
it's going to be beautiful.
Oh yeah,
and I think it'll be like, you know, sometimes when you've got these kind of things where they do like an installment, they have to do like some backtracking, you know, especially in DC or whatever, and they have those giant bloated crossovers. They got to do backtracking, and then when they collect it all together, it's like 3 steps forward, 1 or 2 steps back, because then you flip and you read what you just read because it was a separate trade. But this one I think is going to read, because he doesn't do that necessarily, so it's going to read really fluently all the way through the 7 books.
Oh yeah, and he's doing. Everybody's like, "Oh, we need to reinvent comics." That's not what he's doing here at all, right? So the first book, he introduced the characters. The second book, he's building out the world. Like that's he's following the formula. Now, he's using his imagination on a much grander scale than I usually see. Which, I mean, the world, the detail, it's pretty great. But it's not like he's subverting expectations or whatever. Like, so
I think it's a nice marriage of like the Euro comic style and the American comic style together. It's the kind of thing. This is the kind of story I think
there's Eastern.
Find.
There's Eastern influence too, like as far as like Asian.
You mean like manga stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the kind of thing I almost feel like, you know, if you look at like what is that one? Some of the Mobius stuff or Techno, whatever, the big one. That's the kind of thing I would see like more in Euro type stuff, especially with this level of art. And then in like the American comics format, it works perfectly together, I think.
Well, yeah, the panel layout is pure American, right? So we got Dave in the house. What's up, Dave?
You need 20
Dave,
or 30
that
more
is
panels.
Dave Brink, right? That's Genuine Comics. It's been a while.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect 10. That's him, right?
Yep.
So, one that you get a 7-book collection of this. Like, dude, you know what I always think to myself when I flip through these books too is like how in the heck are these not like mass distributed? It's better than anything. I mean, we always say, hey, you know, the LC are better than mainstream. This literally is better than anything I've seen from the mainstream.
Yeah.
Even the good stuff from the mainstream. I'm not just talking about the trash that everybody likes to poke fun at, but it's better than anything I've seen from the mainstream.
Well, it's the best. It's a really.
Oh no. I lost Stat. That's not good. What was my favorite part of what? And I hope Stat comes back. He had to leave to go work on his Nolan meme. For sure. Prater says, I haven't read any of Groken as I don't have it yet. I'm not listening to every details to avoid spoilers. I don't know if we're going to get like too heavy into spoilers, just general.
There I was being insightful and I kicked myself out. The hype kicked me out.
How were you being insightful?
Well, not insightful, but I was going to say the worst thing I think I've seen about this book was just that, you know, the people that read the first book said they didn't think that it was enough story for them. That was the only thing. Art, everyone's saying spectacular. Now, by the second book, I think you got fewer people that have made that.
Yeah, the second book is pure story. Like,
right. So, I mean, I think that, you know, if they did hold out and they went to the second book, it would help. But that's the worst thing that I've heard about Groken, like through the 2 books, a couple of years. And past that, nothing else bad has been said. Which is why it did so much better the second time around than it did the first, I think.
Well, and then I think his art being out there really helps. Like when you his art, like I just been posting panels daily, right, on Twitter, and just seeing a couple of panels it's like, damn, like right. This is really good. So, I'm only half listening. Amanda's doing taxes at work.
Right ear or left ear, Amanda?
Yeah. Dave says it's Groken is top tier. I think everybody would agree. I can't believe Prater hasn't backed it yet. Or maybe he's backed it but not read it, I guess. I don't know.
Are you going to be like one of those guys that like backs all 7 but doesn't read them until you get all 7? God, like patience.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, I'm literally looking. This is the one book where it's like, I cannot wait to get the next one. Can't wait.
I still like to. I have it close to my desk to just pull out and flip through.
Oh, I've got. I've got 2 books on my desk. I have Groken and then Only Death Can Save Us. So usually, it's like if people come over and be like, "Hey, look at this, look at this, look at this."
Right.
So, actually, my niece is drawing because I'm lucky enough where I get a few copies of the books, right? So I always give one to my son and then my niece, and my niece loves Groken. So she's drawing. I don't know. She's drawing a character right now. I don't know which one it is, but she wants me to send it to Kenneth when she's done. And I was like, yeah, I could do that.
I'm looking forward to seeing who the new hidden character is, because he does the Where's Waldo in every issue.
Yeah, like the gingerbread man.
And then Danis. That'll be great.
I don't know what I want. Like I said, I want to see the continuation of the Enzo story, and I want to find out more about the Seventh Order. That would be good. You want the Flavia. You want more of Flavia.
I want to see what's going on with the resurrected knight and the. It's just a cool character idea.
That's the whole necro part of it.
Yep. The resurrected knight, and then what's going on with the Inquisitor. I mean, he's clearly like really menacing and everything like that, and he's a scary character. So I'm looking forward to see why that's earned.
Well, the Inquisitor and the Enzo story are going to intersect.
Right.
So yeah. But and then let's get into some of the art from the second book. There's this page where that the hell, I don't know what we call it, the crown, whatever we want to call it, falls off of a character. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I love how he uses panels to illustrate where it falls to. It's kind of almost a double page spread. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. And he uses, now I know it's done before, but he's so good at combining influences, I feel like. Even in the storytelling, right? But in the art as well. So he uses those panels to like show where it's falling to, and I love that. So
yeah, I gotta reread these again. It's weird. Like I look back, I remember reading these, both of them in like one sitting, because I got the second one with both books here, and I read through both of them, and it was an odd sensation because I got through them and it was like, wow, this went really, really fast. I'm a little concerned, and then I look back and I realized no, there was a lot of stuff to read. I was just shooting right through it because it was like interesting. I kept on saying, like, as I'm going through this, what is this like? What, usually you can look at something and go like, oh, it's like Batman, or it's Punisher meets, whatever. But I'm reading through this saying, like, what is this? I can't think of anything that this is like.
Oh, there's plenty. And I know he said he hasn't seen Dune, but there's Dune in there nonetheless.
You think so? Because I hate Dune, but I like this.
Yeah, Helanthus is like Leto.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's not a like for like, but it just
I know.
reminds you of there's a lot of Lord of the Rings in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Lord.
I do love me some Lord of the Rings.
There's a lot of tech in there that he's probably, Kenneth, obviously he knows how to tell a story, right? So, he's read and got in text somewhere. I don't know what series they are. I don't know what authors they are, but it's in there. the necro stuff, but there's influences from all over, and he just does such a good job of picking what he likes and incorporating into what he does, so,
without being super obvious about it.
Oh, absolutely! Like it doesn't smack up Lord of the Rings, as you could just it's in there. He likes Tolkien by reading it.
Yeah.
So, but you have people like, especially in novels, and especially in like the late 80s and the early 90s, where it was just complete, like, total ripoff of Lord of the Rings. Like a lot of novels were, and this is not that way at all, but it's there. So I don't know how else to explain it. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll get more and more clear as the books go on.
Well,
but I got my theories. I don't know where it's going, but I got my theories.
Yeah, it's your.
I've said, well, I was talking about. I talked about this on my. It was kind of funny. I had a stream where I was just sketching, just headshots of the Groken the Groken characters. Kenneth was in the stream, and he was like guessing who they were and then calling out which ones to do next. But in there, I was talking about, like, I figured, and this could be way off, but that's part of the fun of like guessing, like that Groken here it's like almost like a containment suit for a bigger dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, he's going to break out of that suit, and then we're really going to see some kind of a crazy fight.
That would match up with Enzo's story now, wouldn't it?
It might.
Eddie's in the house. He's saying we're streaming at work because I work when you're at home, Eddie. Like I go to work in like 4 hours. So,
and I feel like Stella is going to eventually be his Bianca, almost.
Who, Enzo?
No, Groken. Like the way Mother Crown and Bianca, kind of the Oracle.
Oh yeah,
interact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I feel like it's going, and I hope so, because it'd be cool to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why Jasper say no spoilers. We really can't give spoilers because we can only do some guessing. We can't give it away because
these aren't really spoilers.
Yeah, he hasn't given it away yet.
It could be very, very far off, but
everything is kind of building as we go, and that's.
I'm looking forward to how the main bad guy fits into all of it too.
It's where I would praise Kenneth a little bit for being so timely too. Is these books really do, at least the first two, and I'm going to guess a third one, all go well with each other. And if you had to wait like a huge 2-3 years between these books, it would really. But since they come out kind of at a good pace,
I think it would work. It would be more acceptable waiting a couple of years if they were like complete adventure. Each one's a complete adventure, kind of like Black Sat or something, where each one's a specific case. Then you could kind of feel satisfied and read it over and over again. But seeing as how he's doing kind of your more serialized sort of thing, the fact that he's a pretty fast artist really helps, I think. Because I don't know, it's weird. Like some of the stuff that he does, when most other people do it, I don't tend to like it in terms of like leaving it really open, or these kind of like installments where a couple things happen, but it's not like a complete thing. But the way he's doing it really intrigues me. It's a weird exception to a rule.
Well, I think a lot of it is. So I've read both books multiple times.
And it's all skill-based.
No, yeah, for sure. But what I like doing is like just looking through them. I don't necessarily read them every time I pick them up. I might just look at a couple of pages and put it back down or whatever. And I think I really think that helps, like with not having the complete story. But damn, the art is good to look at.
Right.
So,
and I think, not that I'm comparing them directly, but I mean, I think that was kind of like a thing with like the 90s Image stuff. I mean, those stories most of them weren't, they were very forgettable and they were just kind of action driven. But a lot of people just like opening up the issues and looking at a couple of pieces of art and then putting it down. This actually, I think, has the benefit of a decent story to back it up. So it's a little bit head and shoulders above the other stuff, but I feel like it's the same kind of thing.
I don't know if I shouted out Goblin, but there you go. If I have
it. Goblin.
And Angela Curry's there. She's she's my second favorite.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Always good to see you, Angela.
I want to shout out. I know you get annoyed, Stat, but I want to shout out to Angela real quick. That yesterday, Teruno Fuji, who's a rookie, beat Ono Sato and is at 10-0 and is leading the Bashu.
Why would I get annoyed? I predicted that very thing myself.
Yeah, right. Stat has issues with Angela?
Not a one.
We have beef?
Now with Tay, I don't know, man.
We have beef, huh?
I guess so. I'm finding out about it myself.
That's not good.
That's
not good
how the internet works. You get to find out all kinds of new things about yourself.
So, but yeah, there's so many places we can go in this story, right? Like last I heard, it was 7 volumes, and he's going to need 7 volumes to finish it up because there's so much going on. Amanda says 14 hours and 8 minutes.
Boy, oh boy. She's like, it's like, Amanda, time goes way slower when you stare at the clock.
Oh, I told Kenneth today. I was like, man, work is going to go by so slow today. Like, so slow. And sometimes I have to work late, so I may have to back from my phone. Oh,
I got to go see Dune 2 and then in a few hours do that stream. So
that's a long way. That stream's a long ways away.
Well, I'm going to the 7:40 for Doom, so that's 2 hours and 46 minutes. So it'll be past 10 when I get back. So it's just a few hours until the stream after that.
I wish I can go see Dune and make the time go by faster. I'm looking forward to it, but my daughter works second shift and I work second shift.
The reason that thing is 3 hours long is because 2/3 of it's in slow motion.
I like Denny. What's his name? Denny Villeneuve. I like him. I like all his stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. So he had the
Blade Runner and stuff.
The Blade Runner. Then he had the Arrival, right?
Yep, yeah, the Arrival.
Yeah. So I like most of his stuff.
He likes those wide establishing shots a lot.
I do. I like them too.
Yeah.
I like him in comics as well.
Yeah.
So, not my work.
No, not with her work day today. So I guess time's moving quick for her. She's got lots to do.
I think, she would. This is the time of the year where she would be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Blade Runner's excellent. Oh, Sicario. Yeah, that's an amazing movie.
I haven't seen that one.
I don't know if that's up your alley, though, Stat.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know.
It's a crime movie, right?
It's a what?
Crime movie, like border agents and stuff like that, right?
It's more of a revenge movie, I would say.
Okay. Well, I like me some revenge movies.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to Dune 2. I'm going to take caffeine or something. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, go back. My daughter works second shift and I work second shift.
Mm-hmm.
We go to movies together, but her weekends are Monday, Tuesday, so it's hard to get on. So it may be a while till I see it.
CIA, FBL, yep, the drug cartel movie, yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's more of, I don't want to get into it in case you watch it. I will give it away.
I'm not one of those people that gives a crap about spoilers, just so you know. It's more about the execution and seeing it rather than.
Well, there's an execution in there for sure.
I bet there is. Hollywood does a great job of spoilers with their 14 TV spots and 3 trailers and, like first looks, and you get like 15, 25 minutes of the movie before you ever walk into the trailer in the theater.
Right. What did you think about the sketchbook?
I didn't get the sketchbook.
Oh, you didn't?
No. At that point, I was like, 75. I really wanted to, but 75 was a little steep. So I went ahead and just got because I didn't back the first one.
Oh,
so
you had to go.
Around,
okay.
Yeah, I went Groken 1 and 2. So this time around, I'm going to get probably, if he's got that tier, sketchbook plus Groken 3.
Yeah.
I think. But he sent the mini comics and stuff along, and those are probably my favorite extra out of any campaign. That and the card with the comic on the back. those are my 3 favorite extras from any campaign that I've received.
I had to pull it out. Is that the one where Groken is a foodie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just the fact it reminded me of like a Bazooka Joe.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then the Grokens, they reminded me of those old Masters of the Universe comics they used to include with the toys. So that all made me very. It made this series feel more nostalgic, even though I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
So that helped a lot.
Back to Arrival. Prater says Arrival has Lois Lane. It does.
Oh, that's the one with Amy Adams, the kind of quote Lovecraftian type one.
Jesper said he saw 2049
Twice in the
2
theater.
times.
Best
I did not hate Arrival. I loved it.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. I saw the rundown of it. You know, sometimes you have those channels with like 15-minute summaries of the movie just to see if it was something that So if it's on, maybe I'll watch it, but I don't know that I'll be going out of my way for it.
It had canaries in the coal mines, which I liked. I liked it. What kind of canary in the coal mine kind of thing?
Yeah.
So, I haven't. Another thing about these campaigns is you get to see the covers, right? So he drops hints here and there with the kind of art that's going to be in there. So always like at the campaign launches, you get to see whole pieces of art that he's been working on, and I'm excited about that, of course. Who isn't? So,
reading a Kenneth book for me for these last 3, it feels like he's kind of upped his art in each one. Looking at the trailer for the third one, it looks even better than Groken 2. And it just reminds me of 97, 98, you're playing PlayStation 1, you're thinking graphics can't get better than this. And then fast forward to now.
Yeah.
I think it's best work ahead of him.
From what I've seen, there's going to be a lot more lines, which takes more time. But when you watch him sketch, it's like, man, this must take him forever. And you watch him do sketches, and it's like 10 minutes. You're like,
I know.
What the hell just happened?
His sketch movies are streams are like a fixed part of my day now. Like, if on a day off or whatever, before I start drawing, I watch that stream, and it's just like, all right, I'm ready to get into it. It's like a mental warm up before I do my actual warm ups, and then I work.
Absolutely, I watch them every day. I usually watch them when I get back from work, but
yeah, sometimes I have to catch the replay there.
Since they're so short, it's not a huge time investment, you know. So he really made my day. It was a few weeks ago. I was out for surgery, and he did a Space Marine, and I was like, that was so cool. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's funny, like how he'll incorporate some of those weird internet holidays, like he did National Panda Day the other day for Amanda and whatnot. I'm sure he's looking up what's today. Oh, today is National Gun Day. Well,
I wonder if he has an app.
He might.
Or maybe he goes to a website and looks it up.
Because Amanda was noticing that the 20th tomorrow is the National Day of Happiness Day. So, coincidence? I don't know.
Well, for me, it's National Hype Day.
Uh-oh. Watched Arrival last weekend on Peacock. It was amazing, Jolly Green says. Best picture in 2016.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. I like it. What I can't ever say his last name because it's French. Villeneuve, however you say it. But yeah, he's good. He's good. A lot of people like Tenet, or not Tenet, but the guy that did Tenet. What's his name?
Oh, Christopher Nolan.
And I love Nolan's Batmans.
I think he's a little overrated. I want to be honest. It's one of those iconoclast situations. But.
Right. But outside of Batman's, I didn't think Tenet was very good. And
I even have a hard time watching Begins, no, but the other two seem like they take themselves so dang seriously.
I'm going to have to disagree with Nolan too. I think they did Bane great.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah.
I didn't like the ibuprofen on the face thing.
He was written so well. There's so many one-liners. Right, from Bane in that movie he was written so good.
I think I can agree up until the end. I think they botched his ending.
Oh yeah, well, right. I would agree with that.
I mean, during the beginning, like when he Bruce escaped and he took a little tracker, shot a guy and threw it on the tracker to see where it went. Like that was a Bane move, but and I think it was like he got splash damage, like with the whole Bruce just gets his spine pushed back in his back, and then all of a sudden he's good. That's gonna affect the Bane story too.
I will agree with Jasper though. Oppenheimer was really good. I wish they would have put I remember seeing Gods and Generals, and this was when I was probably my teens. There was Gettysburg. Remember that TNT movie Gettysburg?
Oh yeah, Matthew Broderick.
Right. Well, no, it wasn't Bride. Yeah, no, that was Glory.
No, you're right. That was Glory. Gettysburg was
Tom Berenger.
Yep. Was that Jeff Daniels?
Martin Sheen, Jeff Daniels. Yeah. So they made one after that called Gods and Generals. It wasn't near as good, but they put it in theaters. It was so long that they did an intermission.
I haven't seen one of those. They haven't done an intermission in a long time in a movie.
Yeah, so I was like, Oppenheimer could have used the intermission because it was.
I'm sure it could have.
Yeah. But it was a really good film, though. So, I was talking to somebody the other day. There was a good 2 weeks where there was actually 2 TV shows I was watching, Stat, and that hasn't happened in a long time. One of them has ended, but I was Masters of the Air, which has ended.
Yep.
And then I'm really into Shogun right now.
A lot of people are. Holy cow, that thing's like captured people by like the hype is real for that, from what I understand.
Yeah, so I just watched a new episode yesterday, but it's getting... Things are starting to turn around, I would say, because Dune, I like Dune. Actually, I went and watched that new Willy Wonka with my daughter because it's my daughter.
Right.
Don't even go there, Amanda. But there was a few times I laughed.
I heard it was a lot like a Sweeney Todd
style. I don't know if it was that dark.
Maybe not that dark, but very similar. Like it looked, I mean, like from what I saw, like tone wise and stuff, it almost looked like it, like muted colors and not really, really bright from what I just saw in the trailer and stuff.
I always look at Sweeney Todd as like very dark and yeah.
Hold on, I got to go check on my dog who's running around.
I miss my dog. We got 10 people in. I wonder if Eddie went back to work. Eddie does man work. I might take a picture of that spread and share it where I'm talking about where he uses those panels. Let me see. Why he's gone. But he uses these panels, and they're not really panels, but he uses boxes. If you guys have the book, you'll see it. But if you don't have the book, I think I'll take a picture and we'll go through it. The picture won't do it justice. I'm sure they never do. Eddie does man work. Farscape. I tried Goblin a few times to watch Farscape, and I can never. It's kind of like Walking Dead. Everybody was talking about Walking Dead, and I try to watch it, and I can never really get into it.
He knocked down a frame, and he scared himself half to death.
Oh no, that's something a cat would do.
Yeah, he acts like a cat sometimes. It's weird.
My cat's been like doing the crab walk and puffing her fur out at me.
Call an exorcist.
I'm like, what are you doing, cat? All right. Well, it's kind of fuzzy, but I'm going to share it anyways.
All right.
Any true Roquefort fan would be like, that's heresy. It's a crappy picture. It is. Well, here we go. So he uses these panels, the ones on the main spread, if you will. Mm-hmm. He uses those 3 panels there, or 4 panels, to illustrate what's going on and put emphasis on that. So your eyes are
establishing shot.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, it's so good. Look at all that detail.
Yeah. Yeah, the composition is there's thought going into the composition that you don't see a lot in like your basic independent crowdfunded comics. I'm just looking through it myself.
Lord Raising Goblin says, "What a visual feast!" There you go.
Like I always, he gives a couple pages of sketchbook in the back at least.
And the inspector, even the inspector, like, so you look at the inspector, he looks like a friggin' inspector, like a French inspector, from the old timey movies or whatever. So
I like the mask.
Henry Bemis is in the house. He says, "Morning, guys."
Hey, Henry.
Says that's gorgeous. It's. I could have done a better job of taking a picture. Sometimes I wish I had digital copies that I could just screenshot and share, but
you don't do digital.
Like, I even know where these pages are in the book. That's how much I look at them, Stat. I can like feel it and like flip to around the right page when I'm like, what's that panel that I like? Oh yeah.
You trying to get in competition with Vanessa? I'm sure she's got the first book memorized. You tell her, hey, remember that panel where that guy's doing this? And she's like, page 17.
Jasper says that's a tough 2 pages to read. I think I got through it pretty much the way it was supposed to go through. So,
yeah,
left to right. But I mean, your eyes are drawn to immediately to the main the spread, if you will. I don't know if he shared this one. He may have shared it, and I'm sitting here. Let me see. And I'm sitting here with a picture of it. Hold on. Maybe we have a better.
Yeah, I mean, that big top panel is going to be one thing, so you're going to read left, right, and then the little strip is going to go by itself independently.
Oh, he didn't share that one. He's got yours. You want to look at yours?
Which one, mine?
Yeah, the one you were talking about earlier.
Sure.
That's the one you were talking about, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
The cool lit dragon in front of the warm background sky. That's nice.
Henry Bemis says Kenneth plays with panel layout. It's one of the things he makes on Roku for. Yeah, he always has great panel work, I think.
I was talking about that when we were doing that Ultimates thing he did for Marvel, where it looked a lot like, it felt to me like he wanted to do some other stuff, and editorial was like, settle down. Hold on a second.
You know what I thought when I first saw this spread or stat?
What's that?
I thought, like, so at first I looked at the dragon, of course, right? But then I look at the left panel. Like I said, that's how my eyes are drawn. And I'm like, of course, Kenneth needs to show us his Kenneth when I look at the very left panel. We didn't forget who you were, Kenneth. We knew you didn't have to show us.
I remember drawing the headshot, and I gave her like a little, like, like deep scoop thing, just a little line to show that there's a thing. And he said his criticism was too many clothes.
We had a guy, I have a guy at work, he's about my age, and he used to be in comics. It's not so much anymore. So he doesn't know who Rocafort is. And I was, the first thing I pulled up was Starfire. I'm like, okay, I'll show you who Rocafort is. So I pulled up Starfire, and he's like, oh, dang. I'm like, right.
No, that was, I mean, it's been a nice discovery for me, because I dipped out of comics. I think I've told this before, but around Death of Bruce Wayne and A versus X, I want to say it's around 2012. I was just like, okay, the events are getting garbage. There's really nothing going on. And I think I'm done for now. So from then until about 2018, 2019, I didn't know anything that was going on in the mainstream at all. So I missed like his come up. And when he came in and he did that cover for Eric Weathers, everyone was like, Kenneth Rocafort. Oh my gosh, Kenneth Rocafort's here. It's Kenneth Rocafort. And I'm just like, well, who's Kenneth Rocafort? What the heck? I got it pretty quickly after I found out. But I mean, he had been sneaking around before that, because I'd seen him in the thing. And I think I don't know if I DM'd him, like, can I say hi? Or like, I forgot how it went. But it's like, I don't know. Should I say something? Or he was kind of like doing what he does now and like popping up in chats. And
there's Von Stugel. I would like to say, like, I think Von Stugel, even showing a little bit of excitement for a campaign, and I never see that from him. And I don't excitement might be too strong of a word.
Well, apparently I'm too hyperactive. So.
Yes, that's why I brought that up as I read his chat. I miss Kendis Ascendancy as well. Well, I mean, his Ascendancy is really Top Cow, right? Like,
I suppose, yeah. I was doing some backtracking after I found out who he was, because I mean, people were talking about his detective, a little bit about his Marvel stuff like the Ultimates, and then but yeah, the Top Cow stuff came up more than a couple times.
The interesting thing about his detective run is it was released while he was active in CG.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of like with Shane's his
Metalman, yeah.
Metalman, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How many issues did you do of Tech?
Oh, I'd be hyper attacked. Yeah, who, Kenneth? If anybody else, I would be beside myself if he hired a colorist. Like, beside myself. Like, not in a good way either.
Yeah, that's part of the unique. I mean, Amanda is saying that's her favorite colorist in CG.
Oh yeah, well, he's my favorite inker. He's my favorite penciler. He's my favorite editor. He's my favorite.
And he deserves that. You've got that word simp thrown around quite a bit, and it's one of those things where everybody should have a favorite. And there are some times when you have people going, "Oh, that's just there's this person's simps," and I'm not. So
it's more of a term of it's not. It's not me. Well, who was the guy that was really a Rini fan at the beginning? It's been a while since I've been around.
I don't remember.
But I enjoyed his excitement for somebody. So you called him a simp, but it was just in good fun. What was his name? Amanda, what's his name? I forgot his name.
Hi, Jim. I'll miss it. In fact, I still have a text conversation with my buddies telling about how this new guy's killing it at Top Cow. When was he at Top Cow? What years were that? Was that?
Look up Madame Mirage and see when it came out.
Okay, let me have a look. Oh, Amanda, that was one she went ahead and bought.
Well, Madame Mirage? Oh, of course. Yeah. Velocity.
Madame Mirage comic was. Let's see here. Does it tell me at all, or does it just tell me what it is? Looks like it tells me what it is.
I'm so.
Isn't there a database for this kind of stuff?
Yeah, Velocity may have been first, but I think Madame Mirage was where he popped off. Like
2007?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay.
Because it was after the Top Cow was basically, it wasn't on the scale, but it was a new hip thing, like Image was in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he does feel like of all, like
I said hip new thing like I'm like fucking 70s. Sorry for the cussing.
Of all that, like I remember Image used to, they used to like to get, if you were hired by Rob Liefeld, you drew like Rob Liefeld. If you were hired by Jim Lee, you drew like Jim Lee. And he does seem, his art would be closer, I think, to Silvestri than any of the others. So that does track. I like him better than Silvestri, but
yeah, it's Silvestri, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But it does seem closest because Silvestri really likes to use a lot of those lines too.
Like we said with his influences in the storytelling, it's the same with his art. He's so good at pulling influences in, but making it his own thing nonetheless. Now it's like, if I see somebody with loose pencils, I compare them to Rocafort. I don't compare them to Silvestri or or Booth. I say that's Rocafort.
Right. I wonder how many people he's really influenced. I'm sure in CG, quite a few, just overall in his career. Because
I haven't seen a whole lot, but comics is a different game.
It takes too much effort.
I don't think any. Yeah, like, can you imagine? Now, Kenneth probably shat this double page spread out that we're looking at in like 30 minutes. Just playing, but it would take this is like days and days for a normal artist.
Yep.
Are you not reading my scroll, Angela? I put it at the bottom. It's in the description. Like 2 a.m. Central Time. We are doing Danger Vanessa at 2 a.m. They'll be launching on Vanessa's channel.
Yep. Kenneth will be there in the chat at least.
Yeah. Dave Raposa is very close in terms of detail. There's a lot of people that do clearly do better, Leroy. I literally can't do better. Literally. He just launched it. He may have, Jim. That would be something he would do. He did this in 30 minutes. I want the book sooner, says Jasper. Let's see what other long was saying.
He's got to build that hype.
I'm gonna pull another page up that he has posted so we look at something new.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good one.
I also like that he's an artist and he's built his channel off of art. Go figure.
He's so endearing and what's the word I'm looking for? Authentic in the chats too.
Oh yeah. Mysterious.
Genuine,
mysterious,
if you will.
Today he said good morning and somebody was really shocked in the chat. Holy crap, he speaks. Good morning, everyone.
So here's the one with Flavius.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really intricate, but I mean really cool design. And watching him go from like a skeleton to like burned and with stuff sticking out of him to that is cool.
What he did such a good job of, and it really stuck out when I read the second one, is the color tones, right? Using color tones to set the mood. So here we have kind of gray, dark, he's going
cool
to
palette. Yep.
He's about to walk into a hellhole, and that's exactly what he's about to do. But then he'll be in a town and everything's bright and airy, and he does such a good job with the tones.
Lots of mood, atmosphere.
Some people say this, Jasper, but I wonder if Kenneth's pace of the way he puts out works has to do with him not streaming so much. So,
possible. I mean, also, I've thought this before, where you have yourself a 4-hour stream, and they are pimping his comic like every 30-40 minutes, but then they're talking about some stupid thing that he probably would rather not contribute to. It would probably seem like a waste of time without him being too polite to say anything. But I mean, if you're on there and you're watching, I don't know, midgets mud wrestle or something like that,
I've seen him
kind of sitting there.
I've seen him in those streams before too, like in the chat, not on the stream.
No, I mean, if he's on panel, and he's just kind of
Right.
just sitting there doing, I would think that it would be a time where he could be, being more productive or at least relaxing, as opposed to just having to sit there.
I would say that Henry Bemis is more. It's not the humor that he avoids. I really think he tries to like everybody, so he doesn't really want to get into the shit slinging.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he kind of stays above that. But
yeah, he said he's declined quite a few stream requests in the chat, which is okay.
I don't litigate me. I'm not a lawyer, dude. I'm not going to litigate.
That's the new fancy way.
It's the word of the day.
No one says sue me anymore. Litigate me. Why does Stat hate midgets? I don't. It's
a lot of people love Top Cow Goblin. I don't think you're even close to being alone for that.
I haven't read much of it. It's not a hate thing. I'd say probably more of a what would you say, availability thing. I should look something up. I just don't know what.
Phil says spoilers.
Spoilers.
Amanda says, I think he does the best layouts too. Oh yeah, because his panel work is top notch. Now I have seen people use his panel work. I feel like I'm not an artist, so it's easy for me to enjoy Roquefort. And you were saying this yesterday in your stream, Stat, and I feel like maybe this is true. If you're an artist and you're looking at somebody like Roquefort, I bet it can be frustrating. Yeah. But as somebody who I'm never going to draw, dude, it's eye candy. It's eye candy. I love it. But his panel work, to get back to the original point, I have seen people kind of put takes on it. Matter of fact, I read something the other day that's not really out yet, but I was just looking at it to give my 2 cents to a person. Anyways, they had this part where somebody was breaking through a panel, and I'm like, I know exactly where you got that from, and I commend you.
Well, he uses I mean, that comic medium like that. And the thing I like, he's got a fairly realistic style, but he doesn't compromise like dynamics. A lot of people have realistic styles and their characters are stiff because, you know, the anatomy might not do that in real life, but he draws this in a way where it's super dynamic, but it still fits with like a realistic anatomy, which is tough to do, but kind of necessary when you're doing action and things like that to make it more kinetic.
This is what I'm talking about, where he's taking influence from it, and this just came to me just now. But like, where he take it, tell me that the bottom left panel. If anybody in here has watched Game of Thrones, if you're not thinking of Jaime Lannister when you see that, because I didn't at first, but now just looking at it, I'm like Jaime Lannister. So I don't know if you watched Game of Thrones.
No, I never did watch Game of Thrones.
Holy cow! We got a conversation in the chat we have to keep up with. Witchblade or Darkness,
okay,
says Jasper. Cyberforce, yeah, top cow, yeah. But Velocity, you'll see a lot of Velocity around there too.
They put a like a Cyberforce collection out recently on Amazon and stuff too.
You could find all top cow stuff on Amazon. Henry Beaver says, I know it's been said a bunch of times, but there's very something 70s heavy metal. Well, it's Mobius, right? European comics about kind of stuff. No one else is really doing stuff like that. Oh, I would agree. In early 2000s, Goblin says, in the early 2000s, through various means, I was exposed to a lot more obscure comics. Some of them weren't the greatest, but I think it's what got me coming. Well, that's good. The Kingslayer says Prater, exactly. And then, of course, Eddie. I'm not going to read that, Eddie. I shared that image in the DM. Oh, all right. Well, I'll pull one up. The page spread. All right. Let me see what Amanda got for us. So, Stat, since of my health scare and dealing with dropping lots of weight, and I've been put on one pop a day.
Really?
That's all I get now. But I think I'm going to enjoy my pop.
What pop do you go with?
Coke, always. Coca-Cola.
Oh, Coke. Meta Barons. That's the one I was thinking of.
I'm going to pull up this spread, and I'm going to
reminds me a little bit of some of the stuff Kenneth does. The Meta Barons.
Oh, she was talking about the Velocity page spread. Okay, here, I'll put it up, and then I'm going to go get my Coke if you don't mind, sir.
I don't mind.
So here's that Velocity spread she was talking about. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, yes. That's beautiful stuff right there. And it almost looks like he went from pencil to straight to color. Like, I don't know if he inked that or not, but it almost looks like super tight pencils to color, which I support. I like that. Zaid saying, do a couple pops a month. I cut pop out altogether. I have sparkling water. It's my halfway house. But Jasper Plan 9 says, I met Silvestri last year at Dallas Fan Expo. It was a highlight. I'm meeting Frank Miller and Klaus Janson this year. Cool. Yeah, cutting out soda was probably one of the best things I ever did. Can't believe I let myself get addicted to that crap. Yeah. This almost reminds me a little bit, Velocity almost reminds me a little bit of Domino.
I will say, this looks really good, but Groken is better.
That's what I've said before too. Like when we were doing the Ultimates thing, like it looks great, but when he gets to do his own stuff, the way he wants to do it with his quality, it blew this stuff out of the water. Not to compare all his work, but
I would always hope somebody if I at my craft, I hope I'm better at engineering now than I was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm sure it's the same way with Kenneth. Like, but yeah, this is almost iconic. It's not. It's probably not well known to be iconic, but as far as Roquefort's body of work, this is iconic.
Not a huge fan of the puke green.
He didn't color this, unfortunately.
Is that straight? Like, is that tight pencil to color? Did he ink that? I can't tell. It looks like tight pencil to color almost.
It may be pencils. If he was here, he'd be able to answer for us, but I wouldn't know. Maybe even Eddie, who's got a very good eye for comics, will be able to tell us. Or Phil. Phil's here too.
Right. I mean, either way, it looks good, but it just seems like blacks are not quite. They're more gray than black.
Well, and the line weights are kind of
thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like it. Ron Mars wrote this. I highly doubt Ron described what we're looking at in his script. Probably just she punches through. She fights her way through the through the crowd, and that's what he did.
I think there was a stream where Kenneth showed us a script of this. I think.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure there was. I think it was on my channel. I think we were doing a review of Velocity, and he actually had a script that he showed us, I think. Or maybe it was another. Everything kind of blurs together back then.
It's kind of an interesting choice to do like 2 16-page grid pages and then eclipse it with this massive, cool image. Interesting, but and very memorable. But it's one of those. I wonder if he put all the effort towards doing those to cover him up.
All right, we looked at it. We're not here to hype up Velocity though. So
no.
Let's get back to
But we are hyping Kenneth.
Yes.
So even his old stuff, which is considered inferior to this new stuff, is still great.
And he's got another one posted. It's one of my favorites. It's not as intricate, but it's such a mood setter. With it emphasizes my point of using tones to set the mood. This one with Flavius. Yeah,
I like that. Like, I can't wait to see learn more about our main bad guy here too, because he's been very, very just like up close shots. You don't see a lot of him. You kind of feel his presence through this whole thing. He's big.
And of course, on the middle right panel there,
mm-hmm.
It's like Kenneth's telltale of like, even if you're not like familiar, if you just know Kenneth's work in passing, if you see the smoke, you know it's him.
Oh yeah,
that's his telltale sign.
Yeah, I remember him saying, "Oh yeah, I did a cover for the Shadow once, and I didn't know." I pulled that up, and there that smoke was all over the place coming out of the guns. That was my first time seeing his smoke like that.
Or is that his action lines or his speed lines? Kind of, it all kind of like you could see on the bottom with Helene when he's casting a spell that you could see the. What do we call that? Because he had the Kirby crackle. This has to be the Roquefort something or another. It's kind of like the Kirby crackle in that regards.
Kind of, I like it though. I always liked his color, his balance of cool and warm colors, like to pull it, make it pop out. Like he's got a heck of an understanding of that many colorists are still trying to figure out.
Prater says, "I like these colors, yeah, especially for what he's going for. He does it's an excellent job, especially the gold on the bottom. Such a cool design," says Phil. The shadow cover is sweet. Oh, Patrick, what's up, Patrick? Furtado says
Hello.
So good. Roquefort Riz says Prater. I tried to turn. Henry says, "I tried to turn a couple of old friends who still read comics in the Groken. They just don't get it. They're stuck on the mainstream tea. That's unfortunate because this is good as anything." Well, I mean, to be fair, you have people that do very, I would say, independent kind of things in crowdfunding, but there are some stuff, and I'm going to use Eddie, for example, who do mainstream type stuff, and they do it very effectively. Kenneth's one of them. Eddie's in here. He did it very well in his book. So
yeah, that comes down to sensibilities. Like Amanda and Vanessa were talking. You got your mainstream and your independent sensibilities for comics, and they're very different.
I will say this is a lot more fantasy driven than a lot of the almost everything else, but I love fantasy. So
yeah.
Oh no. Amanda says Henry should divorce his friends over the Roquefort problem.
Wow. Amanda is aggressive when it comes to Kenneth.
Jasper says this should really be needs to exist in an absolute edition size format when it's collected. I would not doubt if that happens.
Wow. What like a
big. What are the size of the
absolutes are? They are like 12 by
Yeah.
12 by 9 or something like that. But boy, what a undertaking that would be to ship that and fulfill it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. But if there's one
Backbreaker.
book that I back crowdfunding wise that I'd want to see, it's this one.
Be an expensive thing too.
It's okay to still like mainstream, but widen your horizons. Yeah, I was somebody suggested Shadow Knight or Night Shadow. I forgot, but somebody suggested a new mainstream run to me, and I did go to the LCS. Well, it was a week or two ago to go look for it, and they didn't have them all. So I think I'll just order them on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Groken is tough gateway drug into intro to the comics. Yeah, you might start. I mean, if you want somebody to get into Kenneth's artwork, you might start with something from Top Cow, because it's so fantasy driven that it's not
something a little more like palatable and one and done.
Well, something more traditional comic stuff. But
yeah, I don't know if you are a fantasy fan, this is a heck of a great book to.
Oh, I was just about to say. Now, if you have somebody that's into Lord of the Rings and you want to get them into the comics, this is what you give them.
It's going to be better than any Lord of the Rings adaptation in a comic.
I know these guys, it's brutal. Oh, those are like Henry Bemis's lifetime friends. Kids growing too fast. I feel you. Mine are gone. Groken reminds me of Bruce. Isn't that Bruce? I think
Sinkovich is Electra.
Electra, yeah. Beautiful, but not mainstream appealing. Henry, their tastes are sus. Amanda, damn.
Amanda's not a mainstream.
She is not having it. For somebody who thinks Groken is just the fourth best crowdfunding comic, she's pretty.
You know what the thing
nasty about this
with Amanda? She was like looking at people talking about like the greatest DC like stuff like that. So she went and she bought like Long Halloween and read it. And
I know I don't want to talk about it.
No. What I'm saying is like she's not a mainstream gal. She's all independent. You see what I'm saying?
Writes in oversized graphic novels. There's been a lot of talk lately around people that, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about rights lately. A lot of people. Like Skip's been on Rights and Tear. George was talking about Rights the other day. George always talks about rights.
I like writing. Write somebody's not my favorite.
Amanda being nasty in the chat. I can't even believe it. That's why she's my favorite. Jasper Gory Dumu. Long Halloween is excellent. I have the Absolute Edition. Amanda's a heretic when it comes to Long Halloween.
Well, that's a tough one for a newbie to break into because you kind of have to know the characters for it to make sense.
But it's just that long, says Eddie. All right.
She couldn't even finish.
Let me pull up
Groken.
Here, I got some random pages I already have pictured. Let's pull another one up.
Yeah.
But they're just pictures. They're not scanned or anything.
That's okay. Lost interest halfway through. Yeah, she got the big classics. Everyone says they're so great, and she hasn't read Dark Knight Returns yet. But that's okay. Because she's going to be reading Groken 2-3 times before she gets through those.
Only 2 or 3?
At least.
So here's the one from my one-day tweet. And like I said, I was so interested in Enzo's story that middle panel with the kid and the girl. Like, I love it. But like, I just like you would say there's no humor, but look at the bottom left panel.
No, there's humor. I mean, everything that has to do with Haifa and the guard, they're like the comic relief.
Look at the guard.
Groken's kind of sarcastic here and there.
Yeah, he is. He's very nice. He's not drawn like the 90s, but he has that very 90s kind of edge to him. I would feel like. Hold on.
If you have to describe Groken in one sentence, how would you? Prater7 asks.
Yeah, that's a good question. I could do it in one word.
Groken.
No, dragon.
It can't be Aaron Lepresti. For Kenneth is always in darkness.
No, he's not.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, you mean? Oh, you're talking about his on the streaming. Yeah. I love that the original Roquefort sticker.
Only, yeah, it makes me laugh every time I see it. Only his hands are illuminated in true artist style.
I nominate myself for Roquefort's fight. I think everybody can be Roquefort's president. Dark Knight Returns #1 is spiking on eBay. I wonder why. Book 2 just needs letters. No time to get my face back out there to make it worth it. I've got an ace up my sleeve for book 2, and that is related to the stream. I wonder what you could be talking about. Henry Bemis, you could be vice treasurer, Amanda.
Timekeeper.
There you go. I nominate myself to be whatever position Angela wants, so we have a rigged election.
Rigged.
I didn't draw. What? I have nothing to do with. I like Sovereign Wolf, but I have very little to do with it. I'll back it always. I do work in accounting.
Don't make.
Oh no! I want to see you do on screen, but I would pay good money. I would pay money, Stat, for Amanda to have to do math on a live stream for an hour and a half, and I could sit there in the chat and just go off.
Turn the chat off and do her work.
Because she does money math for a living. I do real math for a living.
Right? Battle of the maths.
Leroy's no Kenneth. The truer statement has never been said, Eddie. Always with the drama. Who, Amanda? I know.
There's
Amanda.
So much beef getting thrown around here.
No, fake. We have all this kayfabe going on in the chat. I know, Jim. I was being sarcastic, but didn't come across good enough. I'm sure nominations will hold me back since I ranked the book #4. Yeah, that's downright heresy.
Is she going to live that down? Is there some sort of a...
How in the hell is it #4? I don't. Maybe #2 I might understand, but #4?
Was that #1 that she ranked?
I don't even know. I wasn't here for any of this. But when
I feel like that was #1. So
what the hell?
Maybe that's it. That she was on that. There's not quite enough story bandwagon until the second one, and then she said, like, I don't know what I was thinking with that #4.
I don't know I don't know what she's thinking ever. She's always running around chasing rainbows. I don't know. Winkler wisdom.
That pot of gold. Buy some more Roquefort. She needs that pot of gold for the original art.
Yo, rigged occasionally. Yes, she does the math, says Angela. There you go. So, all right. So this is for Angela. Everybody here. Groken 3 launches at 2 a.m. Central. You get a free trading card if you back within the first 24 hours. Mm-hmm. If you haven't signed up yet, which I would think that everybody in the chat by now is, but if you don't, the link is in the description below. Mm-hmm. How's that, Stat?
That was great.
Yeah.
Very enunciated.
Mm-hmm. I'm a professional.
I can
tell. What's 1-3?
Oh, he's wondering what beat Groken out.
Yo, yeah, like I don't even want to know. Like,
I'm glad
I wasn't. I'm glad I don't even know. I'm glad because it's just going to give me heartburn.
Well, that's the Coke.
No, I only get one a day, so.
And I would think that would make it worse because you're not used to it anymore.
Dude, no. It was hard. It was hard to switch. And now, as you know, I was drinking Gatorade, and now I made the switch from Gatorade to G0.
Oh, the no sugar stuff?
Right. So, like, I'm slowly weaning myself into something
It's got
healthy.
that, like, weird aftertaste to it.
I know. It's not so bad if it's cold. Oh,
yeah.
Look at Angelo. There you go. All right, let me pull up a different page. If I have one.
G0 destroys your gut biomes.
Probably, but I won't be drinking it forever.
With them chemicals.
I'll be switching. Like I'm weaning myself.
That's why I went to that flavored like sparkling. You just got to find a brand you like and stick with it. They aren't all the same.
I love this panel. I don't know why.
Is it the mustache?
No, it's more of a like
Hand?
the army, like infantry kind of feel. That's what I like. That panel.
Ornament brims? Oh, I suppose those flip down, right? So they protect their faces. How's that heartburn?
Not good. Not good at all. I might have to go get surgery again. Leroy looks for drinks with stevia or monk fruit. Better for the. Eventually I'll get the water. You know, like that's the goal. Like you guys, you guys are all like, I think I'll go from G0 to water. That's the plan.
Yeah, you can't do it all at once. It's really jarring. It's true.
I'll still have my one a day though. Always. I like to have. Sure. Usually, I like to have it with dinner, my pop. But
it's like a treat, something to look forward to.
You know, since we're all here celebrating Groken and Kenneth Rocafort, I'll have my pop now.
There you go. Starlight Cats. Lucen comes after. Okay, Lucen rounds out top 5. Starlight Cats getting the bump.
I think the Groken needs a bump all the way to number 1. Don't know what the hell's wrong with her.
It might. Who knows? It might.
She's still my favorite, though, I guess.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Stomping over that beef.
Well, I mean, she comes and she's like, hey, I'm barefoot in the kitchen cooking. She knows what she's doing. You didn't need to tell me that.
Lucen comes after. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, maybe it's time for a new countdown, because things are very different than they were when she made that list originally.
Are they?
I think so. I think overall, just around in this corner of comics, the landscape has changed so much, and new creators have come in. Others have fallen away. Some have come up in people's estimation. Like, it's all different.
Interesting. Amanda, I think you're on the wrong stream. This is the Rocaforce Executive Committee. Yeah, this isn't like Starlight Cat's launch hype stream. I think he is going to do another. I heard he's going to do another Starlight Cats.
I think so, but his priority's on Rex.
So I expect Amanda to have a countdown, have her hype streams over Starlight Cats and all the rest.
I heard he was getting a new artist for that. So I mean,
that would make sense. It would be hard to draw 2 books at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's
going to stream and promote and all the rest of it, for sure. He does a lot of promotion. So, yeah, it would be really hard. So even we got the smoke in the middle panel here, and I told Stat I picked this panel the other day, yesterday. I think it was yesterday, because Stat was talking about foreshortening, and this panel has some foreshortening into it.
Sure does.
But even in this simple panel, look at the details in the space. The front dude there. He's got a name. I don't forgot the name, but let's see. Let me look up his name.
Thank goodness for the is that Caden?
That's General Greystone.
Oh, General Greystone, yeah.
Greystoke.
Oh, I got to look at the other one.
This is from book 1.
Yeah, that's how I was looking at book 2. I was looking at book 2.
Here, look at this one. Go ahead and read it.
Starlight Cats Committee is meeting in the ladies' room. Oh! General Greystoke, yeah.
General Greystoke. So there you go. But yeah, even the details in the face, on the helmet, look at like the it's like a mask that's flipped up. It's not really a hat. It's a mask that's flipped up, but just look at the details everywhere. crazy. I want every panel in an absolute format.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean like every panel in the wide format like that?
No,
So,
every
like,
panel on its own page, blown up to
I see what you're saying.
and stretched
Wow,
out as much as possible, so I can just
artistic.
look at every panel.
Mm-hmm. Really digest it.
See, those are my fingers there,
Mm-hmm.
but Eddie's
Not stump fingers.
No, Eddie's like those are very delicate engineer fingers. Eddie, he's a hardworking dude. He's got some he's got some man hands, I bet, from his job. Yeah. Matter of fact, he's probably not even here anymore because he has to work. He's all like doing some man shit.
So is there anything that you would say you're hoping to see more out of the third book? You know, that you didn't quite get in these two books? Anything?
No, like the way I look at it, and I feel like we're getting 7 installments of one book. One book's in 7 installments, and I feel like that more about this series than any other series. Of course, everybody's like, "Oh, there's multiple books to this series I'm doing." See, I told you. He was welding. So I know I really don't. I feel like between the 7 volumes, the entire story is going to. I am excited to see where he's going to go. Like, are we going to have a giant action book next? Are we going to have more storytelling? Is he holding a character back that's going to change everything? Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, but I don't have anything other than I'd like to see more continuation of Enzo's tale, and I'm sure we're going to get that.
Oh yeah, I mean he's done some setup for it already. Those first 2 books, kind of priming the pump.
Yeah,
got all the characters and most of the characters. I'm sure we'll see some new characters, but most of the characters are in place. They're like sprung, ready to go.
I will say this though, I do want to know more of the history because he's put some Salvatore stuff,
mm-hmm.
and I want to know more about that. But I don't know if that's going to come, right? Because that's the distant past, and
it's not so much relevant,
right? But it would be cool but I don't know where he's going. I don't know. Like I have no idea. But I don't know. Are you looking forward to anything?
I'm looking forward to. He's got all these characters that have kind of been kind of put off in groups or just kind of singles that are wandering around. I'm looking forward to them interacting because he's setting up these personalities and these like it's kind of like it's sort of an out of the way sort of example, but the Fantastic Four films, like they haven't quite gotten any of them right, and it's easy formula where you just take these 4 very specific personalities and throw them at a situation to let them kind of like attack it the way they would. Ben's angry and Johnny's cocky, and he set up all these personalities and kind of kept them away from each other. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them interact and see the oil and water kind of.
It's interesting because he's doing that on purpose. Because if you look at the end of the book 2, where Stella and Groken, like they can't because of the 7th Order stuff. So eventually everything is going to come together. You're right. But
so that's what I'm really looking forward to. All these characters that have been wandering around this world, making it look even bigger in the process, sort of hitting their crossroads with each other and seeing how that works out. It's weird. It's like a crossover, except in the same book. You get to see these characters finally meet. So that's
I mean, I have suspicions where things are like. I think like we have. If you're reading, I'm not trying to come up with this. Hold on. Jolly Green says he's looking forward to the new sketchbook. I think a lot of people are. What is wrong with her? She's having like midnight cat freak out.
The Starlight Cats in the ladies' room comment.
So I'm trying to come up with a way not to spoil it, but we all know who Enzo is to Groken now. If you've read the book, like I think that's plainly obvious, right? But I don't think Groken's going to let Enzo get. The Inquisitors are going to be rough on Enzo, and I don't think Groken's going to allow that. So
right.
That's going to come, and that might not come till like the 5th or 6th book, because I feel like that's kind of one of the major that's coming to a head. So, but there's a lot of things to look forward to, but I don't know if some of the things I want to see are going to come in the next, like number 3. I think I'm looking at 4 and 5 and 6 right now.
Well, that's I like that he's taking his time. It's funny when I see in a lot of other books, you introduce a new character, it's usually through the main character's eyes. Like, he'll be walking around in a house, and then he'll meet this character for the first time, and it's almost like the character and the audience are getting to know him at the same time, kind of trying to be that mysterious. But Kenneth seems to be, he's taking all these characters and he's setting them all up separately, so you get to know. It's like watching a Columbo episode. Instead of trying to figure out the mystery, they give you the who did it right away, and then you get to watch Columbo work it out. Well, in that same room with that guy, who that guy is in his story, Columbo is in his story, and they get to meet every single episode. So that's the same here. You've got all these characters that he's set up separately, so it's not like who is that mysterious guy, even though there's mystery in there. And then you get to see them clash, which I really appreciate. It doesn't happen very much anymore because it's
here's
not
another
linear
thing.
Storytelling.
After listening to your point there, is shame on DC.
Well, we say that a lot anyways.
Well, I know, but here's why shame. They had this storyteller there the whole time.
Yeah.
And they did not use him. Shame
because he's not a big name writer.
Shame on them, because the story is like.
Yeah, I can't imagine what he would have done with either just the Batman roster or like creating a.
No, I don't want. I want this. I don't.
Absolutely,
yeah.
let him use his new or his best ideas for himself. But I mean, I just can't imagine if he were to throw this kind of a passion into.
Oh, right.
His own like arc for Batman or wherever he was going to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that would have been, I think, probably like an absolute. One of those they release in different forms over the years. Like New Frontier or something like that, where you get like the regular, the collected, the absolute, the artist edition or whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, they should have done something like Sean Gordon Murphy or Jeff Johns, except
that's a good example
or let Kenneth do it exactly with Jeff Johns and the 3 Jokers or whatever.
Right.
I would agree.
Oh well, it's they let it slip through their fingers, and that's our win.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, I think we'll go for another 7-10 more minutes, Stat, and then we'll wrap it up. I know you're going to the movies and whatever. I have to go. I have to eat and relax a little before I go to stinking work.
Right.
I don't want to go to work today, but the thing is, Stat, is I did take 2 days off next week.
Oh,
it is opening day Thursday for baseball, and I told my wife, get your ass out of the house on Thursday. I'm taking the living room, my recliner, and the TV, and watching Yankees.
It's all mine.
I didn't really say it like that though.
Jolly Green asked what movie Dune 2.
I don't know why you say it like that. I like the Dune. I Dune.
Never understood Dune and never liked Dune.
What did you start watching the Lynch one first?
I've been trying. Well, when I was a little kid, I saw it, and then I tried.
Oh my god! No wonder you don't like Dune. Oh my!
I tried watching it again when I was older. I tried watching the miniseries. I tried to read a little bit of the book. It's just so fucking dry, just like that desert that surrounds it.
Eddie says, "Go Braves." Henry Bemis says, "Are you Yankees guy?" I went to high school in upstate New York, and I have very good memories. My dad. So a little about me. My mom left when I was a kid, so it was just me and my 3 brothers. So it's just my dad. So we didn't get a lot of alone time, one-on-one time with my dad, but he used to take me once a month. We used to drive down to New York City and watch the Yankees. Now, he grew up a Pirates fan because we're from West Virginia originally. But because of that, I'm a huge Yankees guy. So I grew up watching. I mean, those are the times where like Jeter was breaking in and Williams and Pettit. If you guys are into the baseball, but I doubt you are. I know Eddie is. Eddie is. I know that. I'm halfway through Dune Messiah. Well, yeah, but the first Dune is I thought was right. That's one of my go-to reads. It's not up there with, it's not as high as Lord of the Rings, but it's a classic to me. Dune is. Jim Cox says National League is the best league. I wonder if Jim Cox is a Pirate. No, he might be a Phillies guy. George is a huge Phillies fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you guys are making Dune sound like punishment. Why are you going then?
A friend of mine, he's huge into it, and he wanted a couple people to go with him, so I'm going there just because he likes the movie experience,
So another cool thing about baseball now is I work on second shift is I have this app that I sign up through Major League Baseball. And for $3, I get every radio broadcast of every game on my phone. So I just put my earbuds in and listen to baseball. It makes work go by pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, that makes sense, Jim. So I don't know why he likes the Cardinals, but because of Jim's from the same neck of the woods where I'm from, so the Pirates makes total sense. My dad was a huge Pirates guy, so I listen to. He always has stories about Roberto Clemente, and all that. Yes. I remember. John Smoltz still hates the Yankees, and it's glorious. Oh, it's possible. Oh. Yeah, Angela Curry went to a pop concert not long ago. Good for her. I'm not going to call that
pop
guy
concert. Well, so he's giving up pop, and you're going to concerts. Wow.
No, she went to a pop concert. Yeah.
I know.
In St. Louis for a year, I started following baseball when I was 8. St. Louis is a great baseball city. I went to the Cardinals 2 years ago because the Yankees were in town, so that was fun. That's about an 8-hour drive from here. LOL. So we're going to wrap it up.
Great. I'm ready to back it.
Well, you were going to back regardless.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm even more ready to back it.
I hope we got some people in the chat that we convinced. Although looking through the names, I think
feel like all of them were ready to go anyways.
Yeah, I'm looking through the names. Maybe Eddie was on the fence. Like maybe I should back Kenneth. Maybe I'm not. I hope we convinced Eddie to go ahead and take that leap and back Kenneth Rocafort. You're going to enjoy it, Eddie. I don't know why you haven't backed Kenneth yet. You should have backed the first campaign. You should have backed the second campaign.
I think we convinced Amanda to go in for it.
Yeah, she was on the fence too. She's like, well, it's not that great. Starlight Cats is way better.
She might have overhyped it. She was thinking, did I overhype it by counting the clock like I did? But no, I think she's going to go in.
Prater says he doesn't have it yet. So maybe we convinced Prater.
Maybe. You know what? That's how I backed Groken. I sat and listened to you guys on the chat talk about how great it was, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I got to get this book."
Eddie's flexing right now. Backer number 8 on one, bro. He's not amused with my antics.
Oh, good.
I don't need convincing. This is all formality. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining the stream. I declare this meeting of Starlight Cats. No. No.
Oh shoot!
That's afterwards.
It doesn't look like the women's restroom.
The Starlight Cats is in the ladies' room with Amanda later on today. That's not what this is. Although I do like Starlight Cats, it's pretty good.
I didn't mind it at all either. Yeah, I think I like it a little more than Rex.
I do feel kind of sad that he's not going to draw the second one because I really did enjoy the first one. That's no crap. 2 a.m. CST. What is the PST? Is
that midnight?
Midnight.
Yep.
Because Indiegogo is in California, so that's what they base their time off of. Yeah, I'm not sure what time zone Kenneth's in. I'll be backing Groken as long as Kenneth keeps making them, says Henry. There we go. Convinced me Groken won, but didn't back till growth in 2. After getting in my hands, it's well worth the money. There you go. Patrick's in So we will see. Well, I won't see it. I hope you guys hang out tonight and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be backing from my phone so George can beat me again, unfortunately. Oh, and I'd like to say shout out to George. Maybe he'll watch. I don't know. We'll see. Any last words? You ready to go?
I'm ready. Well, not like go as get out of here, but I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to back. It feels like it's been for freaking ever that this has been in the, it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been forever because, I'm just ready to back it. Now it's going to feel like now the waiting game begins after that. Again, the second waiting game.
While we have 17 people in here, I would encourage everybody with a Twitter account to share his campaign, to make sure everybody knows. Because it used to be, I was telling you, used to be, and I've not been around in a while, that like if there was a major campaign and there would be tweets everywhere about it, and I'm not seeing that. So I was like, what the hell? I didn't even want to stream today, but I'm like, I'm glad I did now. I've had fun, all the normals and chat and you, but it's like there's no hype building. So share it out. Kenneth he's not a big streamer, right? So you'd be surprised if you see your timeline like, hey, Groken's launching, how much that does help. So please, everybody, I'm sure Kenneth would appreciate it if you guys want to go out and spread the word, continue throughout the day, and get everybody else excited. So Midnight Pacific. I hear, Angela, I don't like New Country until I saw a bunch of them in Jamboree in the Hills. I do the Red Dirt Country now. That's what I do. And Jim would know what that is. Just under 13 hours, says Amanda. All right, make sure you share it out, tweet it out, share your excitement. And Vanessa's at, what time is she starting?
Well, Central 1:30.
1:30 Central. It's only a half hour before launch.
Yep, and she's gonna do the first half an hour before launch, and then she's gonna cover the half an hour after launch.
Okay.
And then she's going to bed.
Oh, she's only going to bed. I might do something after, depending. Like I don't know, but
okay.
Then that's going to be it. Other than sumo, I am enjoying my sumo.
Right.
So, a matter of fact, I might do 3 sumo streams next tournament. We'll do one if Angela wants to. We'll do one at the first, the last, and then like day 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll see. Amanda's saying that Kenneth is lurking. You never know. Stips in the house. I was very proud of myself the other day, Stat. I saw somebody stippling, and I put the link in there. I was like, hey, I bet Vaughn would like that. So, there you go. What hat will you be wearing when you back Groken? There you go. I'm wearing a watch. A Garmin watch.
Oh, a Garmin.
Yeah. While I work on Garmin avionics.
I'll wear a Timex. Cheap.
Timex. Oh, Jolly Green. You didn't have to share that, dude. Jeez.
So you got to be comfortable when you back, though.
Well, apparently. I don't know. I'm never. Yeah, Stip says he subbed her. Like, cool. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. We'll talk to everybody later and appreciate you hanging out.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Before we leave, though, we have to do this.
Yeah.